We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears. As we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Let's be completely honest for a second. Everything has greatly changed. Ever since the pandemic, nothing is the same. Life has become harder. Things seem a bit darker than before. Inflation is making everything unaffordable. You now need more than one job and a side hustle just to stay afloat. But in America, we have all been sold the American dream. If you just work hard enough, put in the hours, and keep your head down, wealth is inevitable. You will achieve. But the majority of Americans will never turn that dream into reality. It feels like the goalposts aren't just moving. Everything seems far out of reach. Housing costs are up. Groceries feel like a luxury. And the wealth gap is wider than it's ever been. So what's the real answer? Is the game completely rigged? Or is the idea of the American dream dead? Hello, PHS crew, new viewers and subscribers. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're skipping the hustle culture fluff and taking a hard look at what it takes to become rich in this day and age. We are taking a deep dive into the wealth gap in America, how the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. We are looking mathematically at the reality of what it actually means to become rich in America today, and the 3 specific shifts that determine whether you can become rich or if you will continue to work from paycheck to paycheck. But before we start, can you please do us a favor? If you're new, can you please click subscribe? We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year 2026. It's free. It won't cost you anything. This will help our small channel grow. We would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's start the video.
Hello, PHS crew. We have a question for you. What's the biggest roadblock holding you back from your financial goals right now? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. We are dying to know.
First, we have to define what does rich even mean anymore. Charles Schwab's annual Modern Wealth Survey gives us a concrete number. To be considered officially wealthy in the US today, the average net worth benchmark sits around $2.5 million. Top 10% net worth, $1.9 million. Top 1% net worth, $13 million plus. But here's the twist. Being rich isn't about how much money you make. It's about what you keep and how much freedom that money buys you. There's a massive difference between a high-income earner and a wealthy person. If you make $250,000 a year, but your lifestyle costs $245,000 a year because of a massive mortgage, 2 leased luxury cars, and private school tuition, you aren't rich. You're just one bad month away from financial disaster. Real wealth in America is measured by your assets, things that pay you while you sleep, and the path to getting those assets has fundamentally changed. Historically, there were 3 main avenues to building wealth in the US. Let's look at the data to see which ones actually still work. Path 1. The W-2 corporate ladder, the slow grind. This is the traditional way you could become rich. You would get a degree, get a corporate job, climb the ladder, and save 10% in a 401k. While this can give you a comfortable Middle class or upper middle class life, relying solely on a standard salary to make you rich, is harder than ever. Wages have largely stagnated compared to the cost of living. If your only leverage is selling your direct hours for a linear paycheck, you face a massive ceiling. Path 2. The investor route. The compound effect. This is where wealth begins to accelerate. In America, the tax code is explicitly written to favor investors over laborers. When you earn a wage, you're taxed at standard income rates. When you own stocks or real estate. In the long run, you're taxed at lower capital gains rates. The stock market, the S&P 500, has historically returned an average of about 10% annually over long periods. If you consistently feed the machine, compounding eventually does the heavy lifting. Path 3. The equity play, the leverage multiplier. Look at the Forbes 400 list. Almost nobody got there purely through a salary. They got there by owning a piece of something, either building their own business, creating intellectual property, or owning equity in a fast-growing company. In America, true wealth is built on leverage and ownership. These are some ways you can become rich.
Can't you just eat your pizza regular? Like normal people? What makes you so special? You sound entitled. I believe if you order pineapple on your pizza, you're just wicked and evil. You have to be an alien from another planet. You need to be eradicated from Earth, because you are not human.
So, let's answer the big question. Will you ever be rich in America? The answer is yes, but only if you stop playing by the rules of the 1980s. The old playbook is broken, but the modern digital and financial landscape has created entirely new leverage points. If you want to build wealth today, you need to focus on 3 modern variables. 1. The permissionless leverage. Back in the day, if you wanted to launch something or scale an idea, you needed a bank loan, a gatekeeper, or a physical storefront. Today, you have code and content. You can build a digital product, start a media channel, or launch software from a laptop with 0 manufacturing costs. The margins are nearly 100%. 2. Asymmetric risks. Look for opportunities where the downside is capped, but the upside is unlimited. If you spend 5 hours a week creating a digital product or a content asset, your downside is just those 5 hours. But the upside, it could sell to thousands of people worldwide while you sleep. 3. Intentional lifestyle asymmetry. This is the boring, unsexy secret that everyone hates to hear. You have to widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and aggressively funnel that difference into income-producing assets, stocks, real estate, or your own business equity, before you buy the shiny things. America is still one of the most viable places on Earth to get incredibly wealthy. But it is also one of the easiest places to fall into an endless cycle of consumer debt. The system isn't going to hand you wealth just for showing up and doing a good job anymore. You have to actively transition from being a consumer in the economy to being an owner. This will conclude Is the American Dream a Lie? Rich Man or Poor Man? We hope you enjoyed this deep, dark dive and learned something new in the process. If you did enjoy it, then please like, share, and comment to let us know. And if you're new, please subscribe. Again, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year for 2026. Become a part of the PHS crew. And since you made it this far, Then why don't you click on the iCard? We have many original horror stories and deep dives you will enjoy. We appreciate and thank you all, and we will see you in our next video.